Hi, I'm Allison Waken here at Scrapbook.com, and I wanted to show you 5 easy ways that I like to use stickles. So stickles are so fun and glittery and colorful, and they make such an easy way to add little pops of fun to your projects. So the first easy way to use stickles is to embellish stamp designs. So I'm going to make a holiday card. Make lots of holiday cards, right? This is super easy, but it has so much character and fun because of the stickles. So I just have a Scrapbook.com stamp, says Happy Holidays, and I'm going to add some ink and I'm going to stamp a card. And then I'm going to use the stickles just to add a bit of embellishment. So I loved this stamp because it has little polka dots on the letters, almost like a marquee sign. And I'm going to use those as a guide to put the stickles on. So there's my stamp. And I think I'm going to choose a green stickles. So I have them all set up in my color case, and I kind of made this one to hold all the holiday colors, or colors that would coordinate really well with holiday projects. That's why it's kind of a fun, easy way to display them, but it also is really useful because it helps me see what colors I have and maybe pull out certain colors for different times of the year. So I'm going to take the stickles and I am going to just lightly apply some pressure and just make a simple little dot. So this color is fun because it's green with some red and gold glitter. And I'm highlighting every other dot on this design just to kind of add a little pop of sparkle, and it really draws attention to the stamp and gives it a little more than just the plain ink color that I stamped it with. So that's it. So the stickles add just enough sparkle and embellishment to the card that it adds just a little pop of fun without taking too much time or getting out too many products. So the second idea I have to use stickles is to embellish easy album cards. So the cards are great on their own, but the stickles add just a little bit of sparkle and can add a little bit of something extra to your card. So whether you're going to use it in your album or on a scrapbook page, you can add just a little bit to it. So I'm going to, on this first one, grab a stickles from my color case, and I'm actually just going to kind of fill in the land part of the globe here. So for this one, I am going to squeeze on a decent amount and kind of concentrate towards the center. And what I'll do is just use a little tool to kind of pull the stickles, the glitter, out towards the edges. So instead of trying to make it perfect right up front, you can easily use a tool to kind of help you. Place it back in the color case. So the color case for the stickles, since they are 0.5 ounces, actually holds 10 colors of stickles. So this the 0.5 ounce size holds a little more than the 1 ounce size, holds more bottles, I should say. So you can get quite a bit more in there. So all I'm doing here is just pulling this out to the edges. The sparkles are amazing on this. Okay, so another way that you can embellish the cards is I have just a basic pattern card here, but you can kind of see there's lots of different colors. So you can choose a color that coordinates, and these are just polka dots. So you can just add a few polka dots here or there. And it's not much, but it adds just enough and takes it from kind of a more plain card to something that really stands out. Or you can use it to highlight something or to write a word or something like that. So we can use this kind of just in random places, and then you can add different colors or just use one color that you're kind of trying to draw in to your project. And let's use a different color here. Use this on the blue. So just a squeeze and then it comes right out into a little dot. So you just kind of watch how heavy your hand is, and that controls how big the dot is. So just a simple easy, just adds a little bit of sparkle to the card. So in this travel one, I think I'm just gonna fill in the letters. So I'm gonna use this color here, and I'm basically just kind of tracing the letter. I'll do this one last. I don't want to stick my hand into it. So just adds just that little bit of sparkle, texture, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You can always use the tool to smooth it out or to extend the letter a little bit if you don't want to use any more of the stickles. And that's it. So just let them dry and add them to your project. So the third idea I have to use stickles is on home decor projects. So you can, obviously there's endless ways to use stickles on home decor projects, on frames or vases or plates or, I mean, all kinds of things. So we have a little vase here that I've kind of rough painted with acrylic paint. I've just taped off just a little design, like a point, comes up to a point at the top with a pink acrylic paint. And I'm going to use stickles over the top of it just to add some sparkle. So what I'm gonna do is just apply the stickles, and I'm going to use a paintbrush just to kind of pull that glitter around. So I'm gonna start here at the top. I'm gonna set the stickles back up in my color case. I love how I can set it upright and it doesn't fall down in there. And just use a paintbrush to pull that glitter around. So while it's not super thick, it adds tons of glitter, especially over another paint. So all I'm gonna do is just make sure I'm following or staying inside of the tape and pulling that glitter around. And a little really goes a long way. I love how much glitter is in this because you can really pull a lot of it out and down with a paintbrush. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. Grab this, add some more. So there's no rhyme or reason of how to put this on, it's just getting it on there. So it adds just that little bit of extra sparkle that you definitely don't get with regular paint. And you could use a different color or a similar color paint. It just adds so much sparkle. And I love how it thins out and brushes out really well with a paintbrush. So we'll finish this up and take off that tape and see how it looks. Okay, so I peeled off the tape and it wasn't quite dry, so it peeled off a little bit of that, but you know what? It was a happy accident and it kind of looks like paint dripping and I like it. I think I'm gonna go with it. So the stickles just added that little bit of sparkle that really takes this from just a plain painted vase to something a little bit extra and fun. So the fourth idea I have, and the way that I love to use stickles, is to paint a stencil. Well, kind of painting. Let me show you how I do it. So this is a box or a book that you can use, and I'm going to open it up just so that the stencil lays nicely on here. And what I'm going to do is set my stencil down. Now I'm not stenciling the complete thing. I'm going to kind of just work my way up, but I'm going to just hold it down with my hand because I'm not too worried about the perfection of it. It's more about just the shapes. But I'm going to grab my stickles and kind of squeeze it into the open spaces of the stencil. And I want to get a decent amount in there so that it adds just a little bit of texture. And then I'm going to spread it out with my fingers. So what the stencil is doing is just really kind of giving it a place to sit and allowing there to be a little space in between the shapes. So I'm just using my finger to kind of flatten this out just a little bit. And then I'm going to move the excess into the rest of the stencil. So then it kind of just pulls some of that sparkle out while leaving a little bit of texture at the bottom. And then remove the stencil. And that's it. You have kind of just a fun texture and glitter to the cover. Okay, so the last tip or technique that I love to do with stickles is a straw blowing or air blowing technique. So what we're going to do is we're going to build up the stickles kind of in the middle of the paper. So I'm going to use a lot of different colors. I have a lot of fun colors set up here in my color case. What you want to do is just build up a decent amount of the stickles here, so I'm just pressing really hard. I'm going to use a lot of different colors. We're going to start here with the yellow and go with this pink color. And you just want to make sure that you have a good amount, because you're actually going to be kind of pushing the color down the page by blowing through a straw. So you need enough of the color there to move. So we're just going to build up lots of this color. And you can do different amounts of each color. You can do one big color. But the fun thing about this is that you can really use it for all kinds of things: tags, cards, a scrapbook backdrop, or even just an art piece. This is just a really fun technique to do with friends and family and play with the colors of all your stickles. And then you're going to take a straw and you're going to kind of come down in front of it, and you're just going to blow through the straw and allow the air to push the paint down the page. So the more of the stickles that you have built up, kind of the farther down the page you can go. So that's the basic technique, and you can really have fun with how much of the stickles you build up and how many colors you put on there. And it just adds a really fun kind of movement and texture and color to any project you might be working on. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happiness is life handmade.